If you were unaware, I took a trip to the great city of Chicago. Turns out it is an incredible place to go. Why did I go to Chicago? Maybe asking yourself, Bobby's wedding. Hooray for love. Also, the vibes. Also, to see my friends. My friends were in Chicago at Bobby's wedding. Some of my favorite people, I'd never say it to their face. LA is a bubble. And especially the content creator space is a bubble. I just wanted to log off. I wanted to get out from this for a second. Also, I wanted to see the Dave Matthews Poop Bridge. That was important to me. Bobby's wedding, great. Dave Matthews Poop Bridge, we'll never know. Frequently asked questions. Have you ever been to Chicago? No, obviously not. I kind of just made it pretty obvious that I've never been. Who is Bobby? Twitch.tv/BobbyBurn. He's right there. Did you have fun? You'll find out. That's part of the thing. Did you see the bean? You'll find out. That's part of the presentation. Have you seen the bear? No, I have not seen the bear. Do you think Jeremy Allen White is hot? Yes, I think he's hot when he has cigarettes. When he doesn't have a cigarette, I don't care about him at all. Did you go to a Cubs game? No, I didn't. I don't care about sports. This is Jeremy Allen White smoking cigarettes. Only exclusively pictures of him. Okay, where did I say? I stayed with my friend Jess. That's my friend Jess. I bought the book The Expanse on the plane. Not on the plane, they don't sell books on the plane, but in the airport. I got to Chicago and Jess took me out to a diner, 24-hour diner, and we got food. Here is pictures of our food that we got. I got this really nice cheesecake, raspberry-filled French toast, and Jess got eggs. This is the day of the rehearsal. This is me waking up. Like I said, I vlogged, but then I didn't use the vlog footage, so I have a video of me waking up. It's kind of weird in picture form, but I also thought there's an important piece of this that you should know, and it's that Jess gave me the bed that had Pokemon sheets. You can see Ho-Oh here. Good, comfy bed, slept like a baby. This is not relevant to anything. I just wanted to put a picture of it in there. This is a candle. It looks like a pie. Isn't that crazy? Pie candle. And it smelled like nothing. They didn't even have the audacity to make it smell like pie. And also, me and Jess almost pissed our pants because there was a playlist for the kind of getting ready party, just a playlist to play when people are together in the morning before the wedding. And Bobby and Steph had invited everybody to add music. And as you guys know, I have really weird taste in music. I have weird and bad taste in music with the occasional banger. But the bangers I like are not really getting ready playlist bangers. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the playlist of Jess and I'm like, I didn't add any music. And she's like, it's okay, I added a ton. And then I'm just sitting there and I'm like, and so what I did is I added 5 to 6 sea shanties to the playlist. Because we were like, either everybody's gonna think this is really funny and we're gonna make a bunch of friends, because you guys know me, I'm weird. So I was like, this will get a laugh, everybody will be like, hey. Or everybody will hate me. I'm not really sure which way it went. 2 of the sea shanties came up when I was in the room and they got skipped immediately, which is fair. Here's a picture of me wrapping Bobby's present. Not important, but again, I vlogged and I didn't use the footage and I thought my makeup looked good and my jawline looks good here, so I included that picture as well. Here's me and Jess's outfits. And I captioned it appropriately, sorry we're late, we were throwing fits, because we were in fact late to the wedding rehearsal a little bit. This is a picture of us panicking. Driving the speed limit, panicking because we were late. Whoops. We were throwing fits. Sorry, my bad. When you pulled up to the wedding, in order to get into the gate, there's a phone. So you had to get out of the car and pick up this phone with a tiny little cord. And you had to, hello, I'd like to get to Bobby and Steph's wedding. And then there was a person on the other side of the phone that was like, solve my riddles 3. So that was funny. But anyways, the venue, it's a mansion. This is not their wedding, to be clear. These are random people I pulled off of the website. So don't know who they are. Best of luck to them and all of their endeavors. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful mansion. Historic. I think the Pope went there once, and you were allowed to tour it during cocktail hour and stuff, which I forgot to do. I went and asked the person at 11 o'clock at night if I could have a tour, which was stupid. And he was like, you have to leave. It was an absolutely stunning venue. So pretty. The weather was pretty warm and it cooled off really nicely in the evening. I wore really, really cheap heels that I got on Amazon that were too tall, and I was a fussy baby about it. this was the, so yeah, this is like the dinner after the rehearsal and stuff like that. These are pictures of us and Bobby. It was really nice because we got to kind of like meet people that were going to be there the next day, and it was a lot of people that I didn't know, and they did or didn't play video games, and I was like, how do I? So you're in finance? I don't know what that. Okay, you use paper. I have paper in my house. I don't know, where do we meet in the middle here? So I immediately found the gays. Bobby has a groomsman named Sam, and him and his boyfriend Bill were there, and I was like, I know that's right. And then after the rehearsal, we all went back to the hotel, and it wasn't really that late, and like, I don't know, we just had, I love to explore. One thing I love to do is I love to explore. And so I said to Jess, I was like, do you want to just explore? And it was cool too, because it was like a convention where people were like filtering into the hotel. So you were just running into friends. I love that people do this now, because there was an awkward middle ground where everybody was getting cell phones, and people started taking pictures at weddings with their cell phones because people didn't really know cell phone etiquette, right? And so now I feel like we've had phones long enough that we're starting to develop like phone etiquette. At weddings now, people will say, hey, put your phones away. We hired photographers and we paid a good amount of money for them, and you know what's going to happen if Aunt Carol holds her Samsung phone up like this to take a photo right in front of the professional photographer. It's going to ruin the photo. And let's be honest, Aunt Carol doesn't even know how to use the phone. It's going to be blurry. It's like, great, you took a selfie on accident. I just thought, idiot. Jess did a great job. It was perfect. I cried during the ceremony. Like, enough tears that I'm standing there like going, do I wipe my face? Is this gonna show up in a photo? I didn't put a ton of makeup on my face because I was prepared to sweat it off. So I think I didn't have lines, but I was like, do I wipe? Like, is this weird? Do people notice? Am I throwing a scene right now? And then this is Bobby and Steph, and this is me down here. They included me on the wedding cake. That was really nice. Threw a fit a little bit. Just saying. Sammy Hinkster, I know, my goat. I also didn't get as many photos with people, but that's a thing I'm pretty regularly bad at. Other people that are good at taking photos are so great, because then after the fact, I'll be like, oh, they'll send me photos and I'll be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Like, I got to help a girl who was throwing up. I'm a puke and rally girl. So I went in and I heard somebody throwing up. And I was like, do you want napkins? And she was like, yeah, that'd be great. So I like handed some napkins over the top of the stall, and I was like, do you want me to go get you some water? Like, do you need the kit, you know, the throw up kit? And so she came out of that stall, like looking like nothing had happened. Like that was a professional, like puke and rally girl. I knew it. I don't think, you know, I actually didn't think about it. I don't think there were any kids. And you know, it's a controversial take, but I will say that the vibe of the wedding felt like a really fun dance party, like very like everybody was drinking, like Bobby and Steph did this kind of like EDM vibe, like everybody had those glasses on, there was glow sticks, there was like it was like, hey, we didn't need to worry about like a 4-year-old running out on the dance floor and getting absolutely just like booted because Point Crow's out there throwing his whole pointussy out. So these are my friends. We went, and the next day we woke up and drove back to Chicago. I convinced everybody to to rally in Chicago. And so we drove back and we met up to go see the Bean.
Chicago, the city that never sleeps.
Woo. That's New York.
Chicago, what happens to your stays here?
Chicago, live a little bit.
Chicago, when it's windy, it's here.
Hey, Chicago, Sin City.
Chicago, the city of dreams are made of.
We call it the Big Apple.
Nice.
City, baby.
There's a guy
I'll give you
in
5
there, I
gifts.
think. To what?
Lick it.
Oh, 6. 4.
All right, no, hold on. 3 final offer.
Okay.
Good. Sold. Can I get a 0.5 on that?
Something's like the edge off.
Is that like pretty as fuck, or am I like a weird Google?
No, it's super pretty.
Really nice, right?
Life's a dream.
Okay, first time Subway. How do we feel? Wrong way. Wrong way. It's over there.
Great. You ever seen Train to Busan?
Can't hear you. Family eats first.
Okay.
Big ships, there are small ships, there are ships that sail the seas. But the best ships are the friendships, like the ones between you and me. Here we go. Cheers.
Cheers. Yes.
It's really bad at the end.
Oh, it's. I'm tasting with vodka.
At first I was like, that's not.
It's pretty good.
I was like, I can do that. But
It's actually like
then I
you
guess
could so do it. It's just repulsive.
No, I don't want to. So this part is important because these two people were walking around at the top of this building. And as you can tell from the video, this building is really tall. It doesn't even look as tall as it does in this video. They were walking around at the top of the video and we were kind of looking because we were like, I don't know if it's like at the edge or if there's a little bit of like maybe like a wall that's short that we can't see. And it was really hard to look at because we were just like, man, I did not, you know what I mean? And so then like over here kind of, I don't know what that is, but that's not what this was. They walked over here and then they hung their legs off the side of the building and they were just giggling and kicking their feet up with their legs hanging over the side. And I know you're probably like, maybe that's not what it was. We were all standing looking. Like eventually I had to look away because my legs were becoming jello looking at it. Is something happening here that like, is the trajectory of our lives about to be changed? So we went to a little bar, like a divey bar, and got some like snacks. Then we walked to Pequod's, I guess, which is the pizza place. and got some pizza, and then we walked to the arcade bar. So we were like all over the place. We were taking Ubers, we were walking, and then we went on the subway, which I've never been on a subway before because I'm from a small town that you can walk from one end to the other, and LA hates public transit. Pizza was good. Then yeah, we went to this cool little bar where we played a bunch of games. Took shots of Malort, all of us took shots of Malort. Why do you guys drink it? Every single person who drank this had a bad time. Nobody there looked like they had a good time. Jess says she likes it and she still looked like she was in pain. Like, just pick something that is good. You don't have to hurt yourself. One of the best parts about hanging with friends, if you're going out and doing stuff, is that like 2 a.m. hang at like a diner, or like maybe everybody goes back to somebody's house to just like sit in the living room and like debrief things, you know? And so that's what we wanted. We needed that like late night debrief. So yeah, we walked to the diner and we got some food. And also it's just good to like eat a big old meal at the end of the night. If you've had drinks, it'll make you feel better. Drink a bunch of water. There's some sort of magic in diner water. I think that it prevents hangovers, I swear. Like they put something in the water or the coffee or whatever, and it helps you. So then the last day before we left, we decided to do the architecture boat tour, which is a really popular thing. You should do it. It's very fun. And they take you up the river and they show you all kinds of cool stuff. That's a picture of me and Bobby. Bobby's on the left, I'm on the right.
Just two girls looking at each other with hats on going, exactly.
He's like actually like flat. Water into the ocean, you know?
You okay?
Not really having a good time, actually. I swallowed a chili bean.
First question, how did I hurt my finger? I reached into my makeup bag and I remember something like poking me, but it felt like I had maybe just like poked my finger on the end of my tweezer. It didn't hurt. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And so I like did my makeup, and then I was in the bathroom getting ready to go brush my teeth, and my hand was gushing blood. And so I went and I washed it, and it was just like bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. It was the end of this finger. You can't really see, but it's really painful, and I don't know if I'm gonna make it. But what I realized is that I had my razor for shaving my legs in my makeup bag, and I must have reached in and I chunked the end of my finger. I didn't slice, I chunked the end of my finger. So yeah, the boat tour was really cool. A bunch of old people sat in the back where the shade was, so we had to sit directly in the sunlight. Yeah, I went down and I got a Bloody Mary, of course, and then we went to Chinatown, which I had never been to a Chinatown anywhere. Chris died. He was so, it was so, he,
No, he's like actually like flat.
not doing good. A lot of us all just dispersed because we were all really tired. And so some of us were getting ready to call it a trip and pack up to go home. And some of us had like a day or a half a day or something. And so we all went back, me and Jess went back to her house, and we literally just sat in separate rooms on our phones, just decompressed. And what we ended up doing is we ended up meeting up with Trey and Eric, and we went to a card store, and I bought some Pokemon packs, Erica got a bunch of magic card packs. Like a full art air balloon. And then this one, Mega Lucario. Not the gold one though. And then this one, I don't even know what the fuck that is. So we went out to the diner yet again. And so a couple of us went back to Jess's house and we played a game called Betrayal at the House on the Hill. Betrayal at the House on the Hill. My character was an 11-year-old child who liked sad music and blogging, and I somehow happened to get a gun, a crossbow, and a dagger. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Thank you guys for chilling for a week while I took some time off. It was very fun, and I had a great time.